Okay, so that's the brake servo back on and looking a bit cleaner, and obviously I've cleared it out inside as well, so I'm just now bolting it all back in and realizing that a couple of the nuts on the bolts were quite tricky to get off, and they're even trickier to get back on. But anyway, I'll just keep fiddling around underneath until they're on there. And then the new brake master cylinder is on its way, so that's going to be a couple of days before it gets here. So yeah, we should be good to get that back up. And then I've also got a self-bleeding kit for the brakes, which I'll give it a try. I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but it was another purchase from TEMU. It's basically a one-way valve, so yeah, we'll give that a go. And a couple of other purchases that arrived today. We've got a start of an awning. So this is just a fairly thin fabric, white on the inside, silver on the out. Goes into the channel at the top. This is a 3-meter one, which is just about the right size, and it comes with a little bag with some poles and things in it. So I'm going to measure those up, make sure they're big enough for what we need. And what else did I get? Oh, some sticky magnets. Oh, and these go in the awning rail. Sorry. And will allow us to put little lights on. So I put one at the front, and then the one at the back will slide on after the awning goes on, and they just lock in place into the awning rail. So I've got a bag of those to try out as well. So yeah, that's about it. So a couple of little jobs to get started on today, and then I'll just measure up these poles and see if they're going to fit for the awning. So that's the next job. Right, see you shortly. So there's a couple of the covers, net covers done. My sewing is probably quite atrocious. Never done it before, so but I think it works. But the only way I could get the webbing to go around the corner sensibly was to cut it, sew it, cut it, sew it, cut it, sew it, cut it, sew it all the way around. But it seems to have done quite well. I've just lined it up on the van against the studs that are up there, and it seems to work. So the next job is going to be punch some holes in the right places, and then to put the clips, which I've got there. So they do need a special tool to tighten them up. They're like rivets. So I had to order the tool to go to do it properly. I could have tried to, Heath Robinson something together, but I thought, no, these have turned out okay. So I think I'll just get the right tool and do the job properly. So just waiting for that to arrive and finish these off. And then I've got one more to do, which is the big one for the back window, which I'm just going to go and have a go at now. But same principle. The straight ones, obviously, I put two lots of zigzag stitching, I think that's called. And then I have just cut, turn, cut, turn, cut, turn, cut, turn all the way around. So I'm quite happy with that. It's not professional, but it'll certainly do what we need it to do. Right, I'll crack on and get the third one done. See you soon. Right, so I'm going to try and demonstrate sewing the webbing to the net. I don't know if this will work properly, but anyway, this is quite a cheap little sewing machine. We've set it on zigzag, and I've made cuts in the webbing to go around the corner. So all I'm going to do is run this down until I get to just before the webbing, and then fold that underneath so that it tracks the curve that I've cut into the net. Run that over. You have to pull this through, actually. The feed feet don't pull the net through very easily. So run that one through and bring it around the curve until it just catches the second flap. Bring it around again, and then same thing again. Just catches into it. Bring the next one around, sliding it underneath each time. And then another one there. And then finally around to there. And if we do need to put another cut in there, which we will, then obviously I can just trim that, cut that across, fold that one back around, and then work all the way down. Okay, so that's no. Then the second time I run it around, I run it on the inside of this webbing, and so that it then just picks up all of these loose edges around here. That's how I do it. Don't know if it's the right way, but that's what's getting done. Right, thanks for watching. See you soon. Okay, so a little job I think I'll do is I've got some new studs. These were painted, and what I found is that the original ones are very, very slightly larger than these, which is a bit of a problem because it'll mean it's really, really hard to push the covers on and off, and I don't really want to do that. But I found out that these are actually still large enough for the thermal covers. So anyway, we're going to go and just take these off and replace them, and then I'm just waiting for the tool to arrive to install the other end of these onto the nets. So that'll be done tomorrow. So anyway, let me crack on and get these changed over, and another little job done. Okay, so you can see we've got a bit of a rat's nest on the back bumper. This bumper actually extends so that it can be used for putting bikes on, etc. I guess that's what these brackets were for here, and these clips here. But somebody's made a bit of a bodge up over the years, covered in tape, and not even tape, but masking tape. So I've got some down here to sort out. So I think I'm going to strip this all down, give the bumper a bit of a clean up and paint, because it's pretty disgusting. And then I've got some extra strong LED reversing lights to go in. Losing my voice as well, so time to get that lot cleaned up. What a mess. Oh well, another job to do. Crack on and get it done. Oh, by the way, all those studs went back in okay, so they're ready to take on with the nets. Right, see you soon with a nice clean bumper, I hope. Okay, so as part of doing the rewiring, I'm going to be adding these reversing lights, or LED of course. Another one from TEMU for next to nothing, and I'm mounting these underneath so that they'll come on with the reversing light. I don't think I need them as any other light apart from reversing, but anyway, they'll go underneath there. And this does need rubbing down and repainting, so we'll get that done as well. But yeah, let's crack on and get this wiring neatened up a little bit. And I've got some fabric tape used for wiring looms, so this will go around all the wires, and then we'll put it inside a conduit as well. So I've got a corrugated conduit which we'll use for finishing that up with. So let me just crack on and get that done. Well, as you can tell, something actually went right. So we have two reversing spots on there now. So the next thing to do is to do all the wiring and loom that up. So let's crack on and get that done now. But yeah, I'll try those out tonight. They're a damn sight brighter than what was on there originally, that's for sure. Right, okay, let's crack on and get this sorted. So happy days, the parts arrived, and that is the correct one. So everything matches up. 2 connections at the top for the reservoir, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There's five ports, so that's good. Right, so next job is to get the reservoir off of here, get it onto here, and then start installing it and working out how to bleed the brakes. But I've got a little tool that should help me do the brake bleeding. So we'll give that a try and see how we get on. Right, first things first, let's get this reservoir off. Okay, that's pretty easy. So just a couple of levers to lift the old one off. It comes with new rubbers, which is good. It just pushes back on again after lubricating the rubber with a little bit of brake fluid. It just pops straight on there, so that's good. So now we'll just get it all lined up with the pipes, etc. There is a thing called bench bleeding, but I've looked into it and it does require that you have pipes and things like that to connect all the ports together, which I don't have. So I'm going to give it a go with just gravity bleeding the master cylinder to begin with, and then we'll see how we get on with bleeding the brakes. But I'm hoping, yeah, that's going to work okay. Anyway, I'll get this on now. Okay, so the master cylinder is in there, and now the bit that I really hate, and that's trying to get these pipes threaded in without cross-threading. If you cross-thread them, you're buggered. That's a technical term, by the way. So yeah, just taking my time just to make sure that these just go in properly. So it's going to take me a while, but better to take your time and get them done so that they don't cross-thread, otherwise it's not going to work. Right, I'll just carry on doing this then until it's done. So this is the one-way brake bleeder that I've got. May or may not work, we'll give it a go. It's a very soft, supple silicone tube connected to a one-way valve. So obviously this one goes onto your brake nipple, and then this one goes into your container. And the idea is you can just pump it and leave the nipple open until you get rid of the bubbles, and then tighten it up, and job's a good one. So let's go and make sure that the brake nipple is actually free off, which will be the first challenge. Right, let's get under the back. As you can see, there's a little bit of rust up there, but I'm fairly hopeful that's going to free itself off. So I'll just try and find out what size socket it is. I think it's an 8mm, but I'll double check and see if we can crack it off first of all. So let's give it a go. So it's actually a 10mm, in case anybody else is trying to do this. So I've just cracked it open a little bit, and I'll just go and do some pumps on the brake pedal and just see what we get coming out. But I think that's going to work okay. The silicone tubing is a nice tight fit on the nipple, which is always a good sign. Anyway, let's give it a go and see what happens. So just remembering to keep the reservoir topped up. My large can of brake fluid, so we're okay there. And so I'm just working on the front ones now. And interestingly, these have got 2 bleed nipples. You can just see them down there. So I'm doing the bottom one first and then the other one second, because air rises, so if there are any bubbles. I don't know how these are constructed internally, but anyway, that's the way I'm doing it. Bottom first, top. I've swapped the tubes around because, I don't know, it just seemed better to have the short one closer to the nipple. And it works brilliantly. 4 or 5 presses, all the bubbles come out, then it's clean fluid, and nothing goes back in. So I'm quite happy with those. But the brakes at the rear are interesting because there's only 1 bleed nipple for both rear brakes. So the one on the left hand side at the back has got what am I talking about now? Has got an in and an out, and that carries over onto the other side, which has got an in, and then the bleed nipple. That's what I meant, sorry. The reason I hesitated, I just looked at that. Oh, I think I'm going to change that, because that looks a bit iffy, and I do have a spare one, so I think I'm going to change that one out. And yeah, maybe I'll get another one as well for the other side. Anyway, that's beside the point. Let's get this one bled for the time being, and then we'll do some of the bits and pieces and just make sure we've got some brakes. That was not what I wanted to happen. That's not good. Right, I think I have a slight problem now, so I don't know whether my stud extractor will remove that, but oh dear. Okay, right, think on this one, what we're going to do about this, I may need to get myself a new caliper, which wouldn't be a bad thing, because this one is an old one and the other side is brand new. So okay, didn't expect this, didn't hope for this. Oh shoot. Okay, see what we've got to do now.